I've known Dr. Stile since 2010. He's actually the surgeon that worked on my breast augmentation, and I could not be happier with the results. Dr. Stile was actually a friend of my boyfriend at the time, and my boyfriend raved about all of the patients that he had worked on, and when I was thinking about getting my breasts done, he was the first person that came to mind, so his reputation came from my boyfriend. Dr. Stile is a very classy, charismatic, and good-looking man, and I went in looking a hot mess, so I was a little flustered when I met him, but he was very concerned with the size and made me feel very comfortable when I was discussing too big, too small, and that blew his looks out of the water. Like how he made me feel when I came in for my consultation was very professional and made me actually pick the size that I am now. The follow-up that he did with my procedure, and I came in more times than I guess was necessary because I was really concerned that they were too big, and he kept assuring me that the swelling would go down, but there was nothing that he wouldn't do to make me feel comfortable, so that made me look at him as more of a friend, somebody that cares about me like that. Dr. Stile's obsession with detail is something that you don't see in most plastic surgeons. I feel that sometimes you go in and you're just another appointment and another surgery, so the amount of time that he spent on me actually made me want to refer him and recommend him to all of my girlfriends that were thinking about surgery as well. I chose Dr. Stile after the consultations that I had with other doctors because of the before and afters that I saw. I had a son, and my chest looked like, I call them tetherball titties. I don't know if you can say that. They were not cute, and I didn't like the way that I looked at myself in the mirror. And so the before and afters that I saw that he had showed me, they were amazing, and so that's why I chose him, and I'm so happy that I did. I always had one chest size that was bigger than the other, so I chose plastic surgery because it was something for me. It wasn't for anybody else. I was married and I had boyfriends, and I never felt comfortable with my chest size, so I chose plastic surgery so that I could look at myself in the mirror and feel comfortable with my body. I've been thinking about plastic surgery probably since I was 15 years old. I would change in the locker room, and I would have to stuff one side of my sports bra just to even out. So I think as an adolescent, that's when you start to really realize what's important and what others look at. And I recognize that at such an early age. So I've been thinking about plastic surgery since I was about 14, 15 years old. I'm obsessing over The Office. A lot of doctors' offices, and I was talking to one of the nurses at Dr. Stile's, but a lot of offices feel very cold and white, and again, like you're just an appointment. And when you walk into Dr. Stile's office, I call it royal and regal. It's very classy, and that's the thing. As soon as you step in the door, that's what you should see, because that represents the doctor in general. And I felt that I was too dressed down to be in such an amazing office. So if that represents how he is as a plastic surgeon, then you're already setting the bar pretty high. I love Dr. Stile's staff. As soon as I walk in the door, I'm greeted if I want water, if I want coffee, if I want snacks. It's kind of like they want to make sure, because it is such an important decision, they want to make sure that there's no standoffish vibe or nothing that you can't ask them. So I feel that Dr. Stile really picked well when he chose his staff to represent him when he's not around. I don't remember the exact date, but I remember what I went through the day of, and I was terrified. I think anybody going under is scared, and Dr. Stile was there walking me in right when I was about to go into surgery, and his face was the first thing that I saw when I woke up. My experience on surgery day was very off-putting. I've had surgeries before, but doing something where it's not necessary kind of makes you start to second guess, like, do I need this? If you have your appendix that needs to be taken out or your tonsils out, that's something that needs to happen, but you start to second guess, like, should I do this? Should I alter my body? And him being there from start to finish made me feel so comfortable. If he wasn't there, there would have been more maybe what ifs. Should I, maybe I shouldn't. And him being there really helped me, and even to this day, I brag about my chest to this day. I do. I remember the surgical team like it was yesterday, actually, because the anesthesiologist made me laugh the whole time. He was amazing, and that's something to where you're like, hey, my life is in your hands. Are we gonna have any kind of conversation? And he was cracking jokes with me the whole time. That's something that I don't think I think they take it for granted. And having him there and getting ready to like count me down, having him have a sense of humor helped me so much. People ask me about this. So my recovery, okay. I was shopping the next day. I was getting my nails done the next day. People say, oh, you know, you need your painkillers and you need this. The only thing was the rest of the day I was pretty much under because you come out of anesthesia. So my boyfriend was taking care of me at the time. But the next day I had my bandages on and I'm like, hey, I need to go buy new bras. They weren't even healed yet. And I was able to get up and go walk around. I think I only took pain medicine the night of, and the next day I felt fine. My recovery was way more easier than I thought it was going to be. My recovery was amazing. The only thing that I could say was a little soreness, but everybody was telling me it's going to be like death, like you're going to feel bad for about a week or so. And when I was telling people that I was up the next day, they're like, who did you go to? Like, what do you mean? Mine took a week and I'm still sore. And I actually just had a girlfriend that got hers done and she was bedridden for 4 days. She couldn't even leave her bed. So for me, I was like ready to go dancing on day 2. I am so happy that I had it done. To this day, I know that girls take in my picture of my chest to have their boobs look the same. So thank you, I'm honored, but really I'm gonna hand it over to Dr. Stile for making it look the way that it did, because these were not pretty before. They were not good looking. If I knew that the before looked like that and the after was gonna look like this, I would do it 10 times in a row, back to back to back. And actually later on down the road, if I do think about having any other plastic surgery, getting them reduced, enlarged, taken out, Dr. Stile is the only person that I would have do my surgeries from here on out. I actually have talked to Dr. Stile about this because I do want more kids, so I am thinking about having other procedures. I would like to maybe after my second kid take them out or get them a little bit more reduced, because as you get older, what you wanted in your 20s is not what you want maybe in your 30s and 40s. So we are actually in talks about after, not now, but after I do have another child, I would like to get them a little bit more reduced, but who knows, maybe I'll be rocking them even after.